Today is a day of many firsts. I teach myself to build a timber frame using a nail gun, which I have never used before. I buy a miter saw and ask my neighbour Bruce to give me a lesson. I try plastering for the first time, and oh boy, do I have some plaster disaster. I use a jigsaw for the first time with mixed results. Right, bedroom area prepped. I thought I was being smart by repurposing a sturdy old king base from Marketplace. My plan was simple: saw off the legs, slide it in, mouse agreed. And then Betty reminded me she's a 1963 bus. Nothing is level, nothing is square, and everything has curves. Getting the shape of this bed head right to fit in the curvy bus was not easy. Okay, quick confession. Around this time, my phone and my computer storage filled up. I had internet issues, downloads were taking days, and this was before I even planned a YouTube channel. I was just filming for family and friends, as you can probably tell from the amateur edits. And in my infinite wisdom, I deleted a bunch of footage, then emptied the recycle bin to free up space. So yep, I lost some of my best first-time clips. Jigsaw stuff-ups, my first frames from scratch, and shaping and upholstering my bed head. All gone forever. On your mats. Okay, now back to business. Levelling the bed took forever. In the end, I surrendered to the old Bedford and accepted that 10mm out would not be noticeable for most guests. Today, I teach myself how to build a timber frame, which you won't see, of course, because as I mentioned, I lost all the footage. I swear I built it all on my own. But it turns out it's not actually that hard. Because it's such a good mattress, it goes quite high. As you can see, it's about even with the bottom of the window. So what will go there is a very long shelf, which I'm getting special timber cut. So I drove to Melbourne because I wanted live edge timber. I loved English oak, so I placed the order. Oh, the fun of working solo. Here's me trying to balance the timber frame with my knee. Can you see a level anywhere? Nope, hadn't even thought about a level. But it seemed to work, just doing everything by eye until it didn't. Wait till you see how the plastering goes. So Dan is my mum's partner. They live on the property on a tiny house. Every now and then in the beginning, I would ask Dan for some help because I really had no idea what screws to use or what settings to use on the tools. So having Dan close by was handy sometimes. Here's where I hit the wall, literally. I needed a reset, so I asked for some help, but it was the world's most awkward two-person job, lifting a king mattress inside a bus. I had already built the frame, so I couldn't move it out. Good planning, Max. Is that enough? Yeah. Oh, maybe I did. Yeah, I'm good.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break.
So this month, 15 years ago, my dad passed away. He was a plasterer. He would have absolutely loved this property, sitting on the veranda and doing different jobs around the place, helping me with the bus. I think about him quite a lot while I'm on this property and wish he was here and to give me a few plastering skills too. It's a little bumpy. Now I am very aware of what a bad job I am doing plastering. My dad was a plasterer, but I never ever got any lessons from him because I wasn't interested in it back then. Basically just slapping it on But what I've realised is where the join is, it's uneven. It's uneven because I couldn't fit big enough sheets in my car, so I had to get them to slice them. So then I've had to do a join here, and I don't have timber behind the join, screw it in properly. I should have put the horizontal timber supports exactly where I was going to put the join for the plaster. But there's a lot of hindsight stuff in this build because I really have no idea what I'm doing. I guess I'm learning, so if I did this again, I would know what to do. But this is the inside of a cupboard, so I'm not too worried if it's not perfect. It'll be sanded down and painted, and shelves will be put in, so I don't think you're even going to notice it. Rather than taking it down and perfecting it, I'm just going to keep going lumps, bumps and all.
Next, I plan the bases for the bedside tables. And of course, more adjustments are needed.
But I'm actually feeling stuck today, so I feel like I'm wasting time. I have so many half-finished projects. The bathroom here, and it's half plastered. I have the wardrobe here, and I haven't plastered it yet. I've put a bit of the insulation in, but not all of it. With the bed, I've put one side of the shelf in, but not the other side. Even though I haven't finished any of these projects, I go and buy the kitchen cabinets. But I don't know what the fronts are going to be. I don't know what the splashback or the top is going to be. I just thought I'd buy the 3 base cabinets, build the frame, put them in place, maybe get the plumber, electrician here, and then decide on the aesthetics a little bit later. And even yesterday I had a really good clean up, which was really good. I love having a good clean up. And then I remeasured. Here is the bathroom, so that's the sink. That's mouse, but it's actually the bench top. And that's the stove. And I brought in the heater today because I was feeling a little bit unmotivated. It was just so bloody cold. So we've got the heater in here just for the first hour probably. If you can see down here, opposite the kitchen, I've marked out where a bar fridge will be. Because it's going to be an Airbnb, I think a bar fridge is probably enough. And then I had an idea. I have a very old retro chocolate brown couch which I bought off a friend secondhand 20 years ago. When I got a new couch, my mum took it, so she's got it in her apartment, and it's very comfortable, it's very lush. I know I probably won't be able to sell it because these things are quite hard to sell. I'm going to repurpose it, chop it up and make it into 2 bench seats for the dining area. So I'm going to bring it here and just see what I can do with it. I have no idea what the frame is like underneath. I know that I can work it out.
I have not mastered this damn jigsaw yet, so I'm being very cautious. This is my first attempt at making the side support to enable me to put the English oak shelf on top, and I'm really not even sure it's going to work. These side supports were one of the most challenging jobs I had to try and fit them into the curves, the unlevel flooring, and getting up and down.
With this build, I'm really discovering what I like and what I'm good at and what I really don't like. So I like creating and starting things and designing and problem solving, working out how I can make something fit or how I can give it a good aesthetic. A prime example is building, see this thing on the floor? This is basically the support to add the side shelves of the bed, and it took me ages to get it right, and it's still not quite right, but I quite enjoyed working it out. But the thought of doing the second one exactly the same, I'm not looking forward to. Many of you know Dan and Wally, who have been around for decades, part of our family. I have lots of half-finished projects, so I have very little patience. I just want to do things very quickly. If I can't get a screw in to metal or I can't make something work, I'll call one of them and they will look at the little detail and they will get it done. Because I'm doing this on my own, I've got to do the things I don't like to. insulation foam is in the way, so I need to cut some away to be able to fit the leg in of the base, which is going to hold the shelf. And then I will refill it. On and off the bed was exhausting. It took me weeks to get this right. Here's me realising how hard it's going to be to make the bed from the inside and seeing if it's possible on a ladder on the outside. Rain, hail or shine, but I have got to make it work.
Okay, quick trip to Mitre 10. I needed to get some fabric glue to hem some curtains in my house, another sheet of plaster to build the wardrobe, some sanding discs, 40, 80 and 120 grit for the pieces of English oak to sand, so then I can fill and then sand and varnish. Some more blue tape for painting, and I think that's it. A few adjustments to the outdoor bathroom, and my specialty, dropping screws. I really needed a break from the bus at this stage, so I decided to put some curtains up in my home, paint the kitchen from a cream to a green, add some matting in the bathroom on the floor because it's also a walkway to the back doors, just to help it remain a little bit cleaner. And as you can see, Jaffa, the supervisor, is keeping me company as well. Then I decided I needed a place to keep my paperwork, so I found this gorgeous little desk from Marketplace and renovated it. While doing this, I heard the cockies outside. And I never get tired of seeing this. So beautiful. Here I'm adding some carpet to the boot and the external cupboards on the bus just to add a bit more insulation. Now I have the most weirdest and funniest pets. This is actually a real mouse, but my mouse is completely oblivious. He doesn't even see it. I think his eyesight is probably going a little bit, but Jaffa is just waiting to traumatize this poor little mouse, and it's a little baby too. And you'll see in a moment where Mouse can't see the mouse but thinks Jaffa wants to play with him, but Jaffa has no interest in Mouse whatsoever. I find it hard to watch this because I feel bad for the mouse. I know it's nature, but I still feel bad for the mouse. There you go, mouse. No idea. Mouse just thinks Jaffa wants to play with him, but he doesn't. In the end, I feel so bad for the mouse, I catch it and put it outside. So it's a bit of a dog's breakfast, but that's in, and it's ready for the shelf. I'm not sure you can see this, but since I've added these supports, the wall has cracked. Obviously it wasn't very stable to begin with, and just put a bit of filler there and repainted. Another trip to Bunnings with Mouse. This time I got a couple of workhorses. I got a router, which I think I'll use quite a bit actually. I got some nails I had to replace, a little plant for my bedroom, and some quad
just to finish off some bits and pieces in the bus. Why am I having so much trouble setting this up? Why am I like this? So this is a typical morning with Mouse and Jaffa. Yeah, as soon as I open my bedroom door, they're out. Mouse goes straight for the bushes and Jaffa just screams at me for his breakfast. This morning, Jaffa does a leapfrog over Mouse. I have actually started letting Mouse out the back because I'm not sure if you can see there, but those shrubs are dying, and I think it's because he wheezes on them every day. Mouse always just patiently waits, but Jaffa demands his food. Mouse, sit. Wait. No. Good boy. Now time for coffee and a bit of time with the boys. I had a really bad day yesterday. Nothing seemed to be going right. I'm still working on these side tables to go on either side of the king bed, and it is just really awkward, and I have spent hours trying to get them right, to get them leveled, to get them balanced. And yesterday I spent so long trying to screw the ply and the timber for the support into the metal. It just wouldn't go in. I drilled a hole first. I even put the screw in without the timber and it seemed to work, but as soon as I put the timber on, even though I had a hole in there as well, I think it just wasn't lining up. But it took hours, and I was on my own, and I was actually swearing and screaming. I was so bloody frustrated. I'm hoping today is a better day. I've got my coffee, I've got my work pants on, so when I put my work pants and my work boots on, in my mind it means, you know, I'm ready to work really hard and to get some shit done. So here is down the side of the bed, and I finally got the support in for this piece of wood to go on top. I've put a bit of insulation tape, and now I'm just gluing this trim, and I'm going to stick a bit of silicone down there too, because this is where your blanket will drop down. Today we had a visit from Freddie, the neighbour's dog. So what I'm trying to achieve is a bedside table on both sides, enough room for the doona to drop down to the sides, but all this to be blocked off so nothing falls down. This is an English oak I got specially cut and flattened. I've still got to fill it and varnish it and sand it back. And so I've got to cut a curve at the corner for the curve of the bus, so the end sits just behind the bedboard. I want it to sit right under this window ledge here, so it will sit tight under there, and here will sit maybe about a centimetre underneath, and that will be painted. This will be varnished, laptop charger and PowerPoint side light. But right now I've just got to make sure that this side table, which will go both sides, is going to be level and stable. Can you believe during all this havoc I thought it might be a good idea for my next project to be a double-decker bus? Then I gave myself a good talking to. Next time Betty moves, yes, she does drive, Mum and Dan's tiny house delivery disaster, and my multi-tool mayhem as I try to scribe wall panelling.